Hello and welcome to my channel On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And let's find out what's been on the hook. Well, obviously I'm wearing my newest finished object. This is the Frosty Pullover. This morning I just sent out an email to the whole community, and it has a really nice offer code on there that you can use on this pattern if you decide to purchase it, and or any other pattern in my shop. I also have the fall lookbook from last year. It is on sale as well. You can use your offer code on that if you're interested in buying those 5 patterns that come in the fall lookbook. So when you're on Etsy, you can go out there, click that, and check out all the patterns that are on the lookbook. They will be on sale using the offer code for the community. So be sure you check your email inbox. When it came in this morning about 10 o'clock, I sent it out to all 3,000 people. So you have my offer code. So if you're interested in any of the patterns on my website, you can go out and use that offer code on any of those patterns till Saturday, I believe it is, on Saturday. And now I say that in the email, tell you which day the offer code expires. So be sure you use it fairly soon if you want to get out there and buy those patterns you've had in your cart. I noticed there are a ton of patterns in people's carts, so I assume you're waiting on an offer code. And so there's actually one from last week that I put out with the easiest tee, and I think it ends on Saturday. This one ends following Saturday, so you really have plenty of time to take a look out there and purchase your patterns with the offer code. Again, the fall lookbook is on sale with the offer code. I've included at this time, so you can use that to buy the fall lookbook if you're interested. There's some beautiful patterns out there, and I have sold a lot of the lookbooks, but there are some of you who may have been hesitant to buy them and would like to have a better price, and so that's what they're offered at right now. So use that code that I sent out this morning, and you can use it on any of the patterns in my shop. So there you go. First off, I want to say thank you again to Karen from Washington, who sent me a box of goodies from last week. I showed them all to you. They're very lovely, and I'm already using some of the things that came in the box. Now, this came in the box, and I had a lot of people who corrected me. I thought this was a pin cushion. This is not a pin cushion. This is a little bag that comes inside of this little polka dot container here. It looks like a strawberry, but inside is a bag. And look at this. You can carry it in your purse, and then when you're ready to use it, you can open it up and put things in there in the bag. It's got a pretty good sized bag in there. And then you just cram it back into the strawberry when you're not using it. So it's easy to transport because all you have is this little piece right here with the little bag stuffed down in there. So thank you, Karen, for that. I can't believe I call that a pin cushion, but at first blush, that's what it looked like. So thanks again, Karen, and thank you all for correcting me. I had 2 or 3 people that said, wait a minute now, that's a bag in there. We use those up here when we go to the grocery store, and we'll pull out our bag and throw the groceries in there. So again, Karen, thanks so much. Next week or next video, I will have a shop update, and in that shop update, I think that I'm going to place some of the prototypes. See these right here? I'm going to sell some of the prototypes. I have 106 prototypes, and I really need to move those out of my closet. Honestly, I have made multiples of a lot of my patterns. So I have maybe 3 or 4 of some of my patterns that I've made, and they're all on this rack here. They're actually 2 racks just like this, and my closet is full again of prototypes. So I'm going to be putting those out on the Etsy shop, and you can purchase a finished object rather than purchase a pattern. So along with this is my plan, along with the finished object, say if I'm selling this, it will come with the tag on it that I showed you a couple of videos ago, the little leather tags that go on the bottom of the garment. They will actually have one of those on them. This is what it looks like. It's a little tag that says On the Hook Crochet, and you'll know where you bought this from. It's a handmade item, and some of them are experimental. So I'll put the measurements of each one out there on the listing so you'll know exactly how big it is. And also it will come with the pattern, printed pattern of that garment. So that garment plus the pattern and the leather tag and a couple of other things will be in the bag. So those will be going out onto the shop in the next week or 2, so keep your eyes open for that. I'll also send an email out when I list those items out there. I think there'll be 5 to start, and then I'll do some more. And just know that there will be finished objects, and then there will be patterns as well. So be sure you're selecting the one that you want. Now, as you can see, I'm wearing the Frosty Pullover. This is the newest pattern that I just sent out the email for this morning, and I was talking about that offer code. It is good on this, of course, but this is the Frosty Pullover. This is the pattern, and it is more like a short story. It tells you how to make this beautiful top, and I'll stand up here in a second and I will model it for you. But this is the pattern. It's out on my Etsy shop right now, Frosty Pullover. So let me stand up and I will model this for you. Okay, this is the Frosty Pullover. I made this with Mandala Ombre by Lion Brand, and I'll show you the tag here in just a minute. But this is a crop sweater that I made for the fall, and this is made with Mandala. It's really pretty. I'm not a stripy person, you know I don't like stripes, but this really appealed to me. I had most of it made up, and I had put it in timeout because I wasn't sure if I wanted to finish it, but when I did, I really liked it. So I wrote the pattern exactly how I made it, and it's out on the Etsy shop. This is the back of the Frosty Pullover. It is stripes, as you can see, but the Mandala Ombre makes the stripes look really, really nice. These blend into each other very beautifully, and they're cool colors, so that's why I liked it. This is a cool color combination. It is kind of a cranberry and two shades of gray, and it seemed to work out just fine. I used 2 cakes of yarn for this particular sweater, and I'll show you what I had left, but I'm wearing it today with some gray dress pants and just some little black flat. This is perfect weather for this. It's about 75 degrees, maybe 80 out there, and being short sleeved and a wide neck, this is perfect for fall weather. So that's why I call it Frosty Pullover, because these are frosty colors. They are cool colors, and that's why I named it that. Anyway, there's a design element at the bottom. Look at me, I still don't know about this camera. I don't understand it. I look in the camera and it looks like I'm doing the other side. There's a design element along the bottom, and also it is mirrored here on the sleeve. Let me get up here where you can see it. On the sleeve, you can see that there is the design element running across there, and then a band below that, and then also at the neckline there is a design element up there. You can see that, and then a band above that. So I thought you might enjoy having the pattern for this. This right here, the neckline is not straight up like a lot of my more simple patterns. This has some decreasing along the edge of the neck, so it gives it a little bit more of a gradual increase across here. And well, it's actually a decrease, but it moves the neckline over just a little bit and gives you a little bit of your neck showing, so you're not so hot. This is not a hot sweater, but you could certainly make it out of a darker color and wear it with the turtleneck in the fall or winter. The sleeves are perfect for that, but it is made very simply. See, it's made in 2 pieces, front and back, and there is some sewing on the shoulder and down the side. But the more you do that, the easier it will become, and sewing it together won't be such a burden. I know some people hate to sew, and I totally get that, but learning to sew is not a bad thing. It's a good thing because you can get the seam exactly how you want it to look, and it's a little bit neater look than trying to slip stitch something to close. Now, I do use that technique sometimes, but sewing is important. You should know how to sew, and there's some buttons to be sewn on an object that I'm going to show you here in just a minute that's on my hook. So anyway, this is the Frosty Pullover, and it is out on my Etsy shop. I hope you like it. The yarn I used for this is Mandala Ombre by Lion Brand, not sponsored at all, but I do love their yarns. I reach for them quite often. This is the colorway Joy, J-O-Y, and that's the colorway that I used to make this particular Frosty Pullover. And on each cake are 344 yards. I used 2 cakes, and this is what I had left. About maybe 5 yards, maybe 10 at the very, very most, maybe more like 5. Beautiful yarn though, and the stitch definition is super duper. I really like the stitch definition with the Mandala Ombre, and it's also a number 4 yarn, so the crocheting goes very quickly. So it took me 2 cakes to make this Frosty Pullover in about a size medium. with 8 inches of ease around here. They're 8 inches, right about 2 inches on each side of each side. So that's 8 inches of ease, and it's very, very comfortable. Nice and warm, but not too hot. It's just really soft too. Love that mandala ombre. Since they're all cool colors, they kind of mix nicely together. So there you have it. That's the Frosty Pullover. Those of you who love diamond painting, and those of you who don't love it, some of you don't know anything about it. So my next segment is about diamond painting, and the newest project that I have going, the one that y'all chose, the Romeo and Juliet. I love it. I think it's very beautiful. And I'm going to put some pictures here. This is from the Jaded Gem shop. She actually created had created the canvas and the glue and the covering and all that. She packed it up and selected all the beautiful colors that go on there and the symbols. Everything matches up. It's a beautiful kit, and I really like her shop. So the Jaded Gem shop is where I bought it, and this is a picture of the different colors and how they come packaged 3 in big Ziplocs and 3 different groups. They're not really organized according to anything in particular. They just fit together. So she sent 3 of those, and then also the canvas is the next picture, and you can see the picture of Romeo and Juliet's face there in the video. You won't see that because it's on the other side of my easel, but I wanted to show you a picture of how it looks before I get the drills on it. And then the next photo is a picture of the color scheme and the 67 colors, and then the finished object and what it's going to look like, just a little piece of it so you can see. So let's take a look at my progress so far. For you diamond painters out there, this is a look at the new Romeo and Juliet diamond painting that I'm doing. Now, y'all selected this from, it was between this one and A Meeting on the Turret Stairs, which I was moving into some romantic diamond painting. And this is one that I've selected at your suggestion. And these are the few little pieces I've done so far. This is just as nice as the Heaven and Earth Designs canvas. I do like their canvases, but this one, the glue is a little bit easier to work with, and to me that means a lot, because when you're doing a huge painting like this, and there's a lot of the painting hanging over this, and I'll show you that. See back here, all of this painting is what's over the top of the easel. So there's a lot of diamond painting to do here. I've bitten off another big bite, but it's okay because I work at it every evening, and I hopefully will finish in a few months. So we will take a look at this on every video because I want to show you the progress that I'm making and encourage you, if you are a diamond painter, that you can do it. You can do a small painting and move up to a large painting, and it is quite fun to finish. I really enjoyed finishing all the diamond paintings that I've done. So here's a look at the color chart along the edge here, and this shows all the different colors and the symbols that are in this painting, and we go all the way down here to 67. So there's 67 colors in this diamond painting, and you can see all the symbols there. There's a lot of confetti here. No, it's not terrible right along in here, but this is the part that I've actually done, and the colors are very beautiful. These are some kind of a beigey colors and gold mixed together, but there's a lot of confetti right in here. There's just about every square was a different color. So that makes it challenging, I know, but it also makes it very beautiful from a distance. And I'll step back and show you. This is the bottom of her, it looks like a nightgown, but I'm sure it's just her dress. And there it goes up there, and I already showed you a picture of the faces together, and the faces will be just over the edge of the easel, so I have to work all the way up there to get to the faces, but that's okay. That'll be the most fun part of the whole painting. But this is what it looks like all together. There's a lot of dark color along here, and the artist has done some dark colors along the left side as well. So it's really mainly focused in the very middle, and that's Romeo and Juliet in an embrace as they were telling each other they loved each other, I guess. My guess. Anyway, let's move on, and I will show you the colors that are in here. This is in my Elizabeth Ward containers. I love these. I did pull the tabs off of the Salvador Monday colors and I put them on these. This actual canvas came with a strip of colors that you just stick onto your containers. Now I lost these two. I don't know what happened to them, so I had to make them myself. So I put the number of the color there, the symbol, and the number in order that it is. So I've got these in order right now, 1 to 67, and I had just a little bit too many to fit into this container, this big container. So I'm just setting a few of them out here instead of getting another big container and setting it over here. It's just a lot of trouble to reach over. So I just put a few here, and I'll probably start doing what I did last time, which is which colors am I working on right now in this area. And I kept them in the front of the container box so that I wasn't up here looking for them all the time. I would come down here and they were easier to find because I'd only have maybe 10 or 15 down here. Up here I have 67 or 62 or however many there are left up here. So I wanted to show these to you just to let you see what it's like to do a very large diamond painting. Now you can start out with a smaller one. You can get these at Joann and pick one that you really love, because you have to love what you do. You will never finish it otherwise. So you have to love the picture that you pick. And then at Joann's, I think they're diamond dots. I think all of those that they carry there. They're very, very good kits. They're very beautiful quality, and I've never had a problem with any of those. So if you buy one in a box, you'll be excited. You get home, you put it away, and you know, if you don't have these containers, there are other containers that you can buy, and they're not as expensive. This was about $30, I believe, for all of these containers and the box that they come in, the plastic, and then the cover that goes over them. So to me, it's worth it. To you, it may not be worth it yet. You may not be sure you want to diamond paint in the long term. So I wouldn't invest a lot of money if I wasn't going to continue. But I will say that when you buy something nice like this, the chances of doing another diamond painting are high. You'll be excited. Everything will be all organized. If you're an organized person, this is just for you. I'm not as organized as that, but I force myself to be, because that's how I'm successful with diamond painting. You have to be organized, know where your colors are, and be able to multi-place. I am still using this very cheap diamond pen. I think it was 5 or 6 kits ago. Somebody sent me this one, and it's just a cheap plastic diamond painting pen. On one end is just a little tiny piece with a hole in the end, and that's where the wax goes. So you just put the wax on it, and it shows you how to do that. And then on the other side, I have a 7-placer, and I have the wax in the 7-placer, and see, that needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I used it last night, but what I do is I just rub my thumb across it and kind of get it smooth, and then I push it down into the wax and I scrape it over so that it stays in there. Then I push it down with my thumb again all the way in there, and I scrape off all the excess, and then I'm ready to multi-place. And to multi-place, of course, you pour your drills into the tray, which looks like this, and then you pick up the diamonds and you bring them over to your canvas and place them where they go. And I just roll them on. You know, you just place them on there and you roll them over like that. And you know, it takes some effort to learn, but it is a lot faster than just placing them one at a time, which is what I do when I have a lot of confetti. Like there are a lot of different colors in one small area, I will usually do them one at a time. But if there are several that have 3 or 4 or 5 of the same symbol together, then I will reach over and do my multi-place. I will multi-place, and this is the stainless steel multi-placers that I bought. I think they came in 4 to a pack. They were on Amazon, and they're the best things I've ever seen. The plastic ones just are not that good. There it is. It says 7 on it right there. See, it has a 7 written on there. That means you can place 7 drills with this placer, and you just stuff it into the bottom of the the pencil, and it will it'll stay there. You don't have to worry about it coming off. I've never had one come off in my hand, but this is available on Amazon as well. You just search stainless multi-place diamond drills or something like that, and it will come up. And it's worth the investment because the edges are very, very narrow, and you can fit them into your area where you might have 4. It'll fit down in there very easily. If you're using plastic multi-placers, then the edges are big, and sometimes I can't get them down in there, so I quit using those. I'm using the stainless steel, and these have been awesome. They don't break and they don't bend. They don't do anything but just work very, very well for what I need them to. So this is a quick look at Romeo and Juliet, and I'm all set up and ready to go. I've already done a couple of squares. I'm working on my 3rd square now, so I'll be done with this tonight probably, and then I will start working on this part of the painting. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know it was a little longer than usual, but for you diamond painters, maybe you enjoyed hearing about things that other people do. Sometimes there's a tip in there that you might not have thought about. So I will see you next time with an update on Romeo and Juliet. I hope you like that. It's just a little update every single video on how I'm doing on my very large projects. And so you can see you just take one little bite out every evening or whenever you can get to it, and eventually it gets done. I've done some very, very large diamond paintings, of which this is one, and they go slowly, but they're consistent, and it's really exciting to finish a whole line down at the bottom, and then you move up to the next line. So all of that is really exciting when you open up a new square and get started on it. So again, I've decided that I love this craft. It's very, very wonderful, and it's a good addition to my crochet craft because you use different muscles in your hands, and you can't just crochet for 10 hours a day. I have done that before and paid for it the next week. So I try to pace myself and use diamond painting as kind of an alternate craft because I love to be crafting all the time. Last year, I created a design called the Outlander shawl. And y'all are still favoriting that in my shop. You're still purchasing the pattern. It's a beautiful pattern. I loved it. I spent a lot of time getting that together. I love the knitted fashions from the Outlander. I've seen several articles about them, and I love them. There are actual knitting books that are put together with all the Outlander designs. Well, there aren't any crochet books with all of them, and every now and then you'll see a crochet item from there, like a cowl or a hat or something. But I wanted to create this, and I don't know which side it's going to come on, but I wanted to create this beautiful, beautiful cape, and it's got a connector on it. It's very comfortable. I've tried it on because I made 3 of these trying to get it just right, and I think I've got it right. I made these with Scarfy yarn. Y'all have seen this. I know y'all have tried it. Lots of you have used Scarfy yarn for scarves, and there's one right there, scarves and cowls and maybe sweaters. I don't know. I don't think I've made a sweater from a Scarfy, but I think I made the Weekender out of Scarfy. One of them I made out of Scarfy. So I had a ball of Scarfy in denim and navy. I've made other colors, and I'll show you those here in just a second. But Crystal wanted to model my new Outlander cape, and it looks just like the one I just showed you. Let me show it again. It looks just like that, and the colors in Scarfy are absolutely perfect. So let me show you that. Crystal's going to walk over here and show you the Outlander cape. Here's Crystal, and she's showing us the Outlander cape. She's wearing it, and she says it's very comfortable. I believe her. Here's the back. It's made exactly like the one in the photo. Measurement-wise, exactly. It has the same front on it. It comes over the same amount of number of rows. The one is knitted, by the way, that I showed you the picture of. This is crocheted, very beautiful. It even has buttons like the one in the photo. Now, if you'll notice, this is not just a straight piece of fabric. This is shaped to you. And if you'll notice, right here on the shoulder. I've shaped this with gussets, and I don't know if you know what a gusset is. If you're a sewer, you'll know what a gusset is. A gusset is a triangle piece of fabric that is inserted into a seam to give width to the seam. All right, and they're always in a triangle shape. I should say always. Most of the time they're in a triangle shape. And you can't even see the gussets in this very well. You can maybe see a little bit of them right across here, but I've inserted gussets all the way around from one end to the other so that the cape will have plenty of room at the outside. So it'll have plenty of room to move around. See, if I put my arm in there, there's plenty of room down here to move. It doesn't pull on the front. So that's how I designed this, with gussets all around. And they're fun to crochet, but you have to do a few, and then after you do a few, they become second nature. And because they're all around the cape, they give the cape a beautiful symmetrical look. See how it looks symmetrical all the way around. And this is done with Scarfie. And if you buy a Scarfie with two colors that are very similar to each other, this is the effect that you'll get. Now this would be beautiful over a black turtleneck or a black t-shirt, even, to make it very casual, or a beautiful black dress you could wear this over, just to give you a pop of color and to keep your shoulders warm in the winter and the fall. I think it's just beautiful. I've worked on this for several weeks, and I have the notes for the pattern. I haven't written the pattern yet to be released, but as soon as it is, you will receive an email in your inbox, and you will have an offer code to buy this. I want everybody to try it. It is not difficult to make. I've made the instructions. I will make them very, very easy. So if you're a beginner, you can do this cape. If you're a beginner, you can do this cape. I just had so much fun designing this, and you definitely want to wear it like this. Now you can wear it looser and have the buttons straight up and down or something. That doesn't look good. I'm sorry. This is the style that's on the Outlander cape, and this is how I made it, exactly like that. Now let me show you a couple others that I have made in the interim, so that I want to be sure that I get all of my instructions perfect. This is the cream and charcoal, I believe it's called, in Scarfie. Cream and charcoal. And this one I made a little bit different in that I put an edging around the bottom. It looks like this on the outside. It's not odd or weird looking. It's a little weird on the inside, but on the outside it looks good. There's an edging all the way around the scarf, and there are buttonholes inserted into the scarf. And you'll need those if you use some of these big round buttons that are actually on the actual Outlander cape. Now you can also use a toggle button on there if you want to. And I bought several types of buttons, and I will maybe give them a try, finish these up with the buttons, and you can see how they look. This is the other one that I just finished, and this is a, let's see if I have the color here, eggplant. This is eggplant Scarfie. This is what it looks like. It has a little bit more of a contrast there with the light and the darker colors, but they do blend very beautifully, of course. And see all the gussets along the bottom. That is where the stitch markers are. I still have stitch markers in here. So this one is not finished. Actually, it is finished. What am I saying? I don't have the buttons on this one. And I didn't put buttonholes in it. Those are optional. You don't have to put the buttonholes in it. And then you can use a toggle button that would just stick through there, or a smaller button, but not sure how it would hold. I think a toggle button or a scarf pin would look beautiful with this as well. And see, you can kind of see those gussets right there. This is where they start, and they go down here to the bottom. But they're very hard to discern on there. You don't want a gusset to be very obvious. So I made this in 3 different colors: the eggplant, the cream and black, and the denim and navy, which is not available now. But there may be something similar to it out there on the lime brand side. I don't know. But this is the Outlander cape, and I hope you enjoy it. I've spent a lot of time working on this. It is quick to make, and it takes 1 skein of Scarfie to make this. And on the blue one, this is what I had left. maybe 10 yards, something like that. Now, this is made in a small medium. I mean, it's a medium. It just goes around my shoulders. It's not, and I'll model this for you when I release the pattern, but it's not small. Now, it is small. I guess I should say it's about a small medium. So you might buy 2 skeins of Scarfie. I did that, and I only needed 1 for this one. And I think they're all the same length. I didn't make them any longer because the Outlander cape is this long. It is not way down here, you know, all long. It's a short cape. It's a capelet, but I like to call it a cape. So you can also, another thing I could tell you about this, you can also wear the neckline. If you don't like the neckline up around your hair, and you know what, this is beautiful if you put it on and you wear your hair up. If you're a person that wears their hair up, this goes right up the back of your neck and keeps your neck nice and warm, and it has a nice look. It's curved up so that it looks really nice on you. And you can also turn it in. So I tried this and it looks pretty nice. Once you get it settled in, get it all turned in, you can wear this down, a little bit down. Let me get this right. Crystal's saying that's not right. We put that right. Okay, that's the way it looks when it's down, and in the back it doesn't come up nearly as far. It's sort of like a little turtleneck. And then you can also wear it turned back. And I like this way too. It's like a little collar on there. You can wear it with you know, a turtleneck or whatever you want to wear underneath it. It looks kind of cute that way too. Look at the back. I love the way that looks. And it's a little bit versatile. Honestly, I like it because it is versatile, easy to wear. And if you're using a scarf pin, you can adjust the width of this, but I love the way it looks on the girl at Outlander. I don't watch the Outlander. I have to tell you, this is a disclaimer. I don't watch the Outlander. It's a little risque for me. I've seen maybe one show, and it was a little too much. But one show, and I'll put this in the pattern, you can look it up on Netflix and just watch that one show. It's a girl that wears her cape all through the first part of the episode, and it's kind of fun to watch, especially if you've made one and you go, oh, look at that, how pretty that is. And it looks just like mine. So anyway, I'm not touting the wonders of Outlander. I just love the knit fashions that come from there, and I think they're just quite beautiful. And now I have a daughter who is pretty young, and she thought this was beautiful. So I think young people would like one too. I think it's a real fashion statement. It's a beautiful thing that you've handmade, and be sure to put your label on it or your button that says handmade or something on there so that people would know that is a handmade item. So there you have it, Outlander cape. Let's talk about giveaways. It's giveaway time, and I want to tell you what we're giving away this week, the Cross Stitch magazine. And this is for October of 2023. It's a beautiful magazine. I went through it last video, and there's some beautiful things in here, just absolutely gorgeous. And this is like a full page of what's in the magazine. So I'm going to just scroll up just a little bit so you can see what's in here. There are a lot of beautiful, beautiful pictures and ornaments in here. There's some happy Halloween ornaments, which I didn't know you did, but people do that, I guess. And lots of just different seasons of things in here. One I showed last week. I really like this one. Let me get it over here. That one right there. Just really love that. Isn't that beautiful? What a pretty fall picture. And if you cross stitch, this is a great magazine. Very beautiful. So the October magazine for cross stitch will be given away today, here in just a couple of minutes. Also, we are giving away the 2 skeins of Big Twist in the Heather type of Big Twist, 380 yards on the ball. They're size 4. It's a size 4 yarn. All acrylic, very nice, so soft. I talked about this last week as well, and I started in easiest tee in that, and I've made this much of it. It's, you know, pretty wide. This is probably 22 inches wide, maybe 23-4, something like that. So the easiest tee is started with that skein, and there should be plenty of yarn here for you. And I'm also giving away the pattern for the easiest tee to the winner of this particular yarn. The easiest tee is in here. It's all in color. So that will go to the winner of the easiest tee pattern and yarn. So let's turn the camera to the computer and find out who wins these two gifts. Okay, here we are on our computer, and we have placed the internet address for our YouTube video there from last week. And then we're also going to filter it by the word cross, and this is for the Cross Stitch magazine. So let's scroll down here and find out how many comments had the word cross in the comment. And that would be 33. So 33 people are looking for the Christmas Cross Stitch magazine. So let's go over here and pick a winner. Here we go. Gosh, she's going through everybody. Look at that. All Things Valerie. All Things Valerie, you have won the Cross Stitch magazine for this week. Congratulations. Now let's roll back up here, and we're going to change the word. And this is for the Big Twist yarn and the easiest tee. And we're going to use the word twist. Excuse me for my moving the camera around. Sorry about that. So let's go to twist. Roll down here and find out how many YouTube comments had the word twist in the comment. That's 100 and looks like 113. Let's roll over here and pick our winner for the easiest tee yarn and pattern. Here we go. Look at all those people. Carrie Benson, you have won the Big Twist yarn and the easiest tee pattern from On the Hook Crochet. And congratulations to both of our winners. Congratulations to our winners. Now for next week, this is what I'm giving away. The Christmas Ornament Special for 2023. I know this is cross stitch, but they send me some really nice magazines and they go right out to my subscribers. So I just want to show you this. This is a book of ornaments, and there's a selection of them right there on the front. All kinds of different ornaments, so beautiful. There's 70 projects in here, and some of them are easy, some of them are not, but you'll find all the graphics in here to make the ornaments. So that will go to winner number one next week. Use the word cross as we always do. If you're interested in the cross stitch magazines, just use the word cross in your comment and you will be in the running to win the cross stitch magazine. Now, last week I said, oh, I'm going to give this away if somebody doesn't claim it, and so they didn't. And this is the pattern for the Fuzzy Fleece bag from Lion Brand. It's a Lion Brand yarn kit. Very nice kit. Look at that purse. I saw that and I thought, I want to make that. However, I ran out of time and I got distracted mostly on the Outlander cape. I just didn't have time to work on this. I had lots of things I was working on at the time. But this is the Gopher Fleece Lion Brand yarn in the blush colorway. So gorgeous. So gorgeous. And I started the purse, and y'all know the story if you've been watching me for a few weeks, but I started the purse and I'm almost done with it, honestly. But this side, it looks like a boat, okay? I increased a time or two and I wasn't supposed to. This side is absolutely perfect. Look at that, see? That's the way it's supposed to look. This side is not the way it's supposed to look. And I don't know if that's where I started. Yeah, this is where I started my rounds. And I probably increased one on every row until I thought, this doesn't look right. So anyway, I have this much left out of the first skein. This is almost finished. All it needs is to rip it back to right about there. Rip it back about 5 rows maybe. And then start the rest of the handbag, and I think there are 2 or 3 more rows to do, and then a couple of handles and you're done. So this is an awesome frogger finish right here. If you want to frog it out though, you can do that, not a problem, but I suggest that you go ahead and finish it and make yourself one of these. Isn't that cute? I just love that. So that will go to winner number 2, and the keyword will be fleece. F-L-E-E-C-E, F-L-E-E-C-E, fleece, and you'll be in the running for the Fuzzy Fleece bag pattern and yarn. So we'll give that away next week along with the cross stitch book, and those will be 2 nice gifts that we'll give away next week. Now next week I'm hoping to have the Outlander cape all ready to go. I'm that's my goal. I'd like to get that written out so that you can get those. And if you want to, you can buy your Scarfie now. If you see one that you really like, you can buy it. I made mine with one ball, but you might need two. It depends on how wide you make the cape. I'm about a medium size width around, so you could try one ball of Scarfie, and I believe you can get it out of one ball. But if you're an X, 1X, 2X, 3X, 4, if you're wide across the shoulders, definitely buy 2 balls of Scarfie, and when that comes out, you can make yourself a cape. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. I had a great time here today. Y'all look amazing. I hope that you keep watching my shows and like my shows. That helps me so much, and that YouTube knows that you like my show, and they will send out another notification to you or someone else. So hopefully we can grow our community. Be sure to join up. It's free, free, free. There's no cost to join the community, and you will receive emails with notices of new patterns to come out, the offer codes that are substantial offer codes that you can use on my Etsy shop. So be sure to sign up for the community down in the description box. I'll put a link down there for you, and be watching for my Annie's Afghan videos that come out every month as well. You'll be notified if you're subscribed, so be sure to do that. And don't forget to like this video before you click away. So I hope you have a great week, a great weekend next weekend, and join me next time to find out what's on the hook.